and you'll feel right at home with Spirit Tracks. As Link, you'll set off across Hyrule, visiting various towns, helping out citizens, and battling through dungeons in order to restore peace to the land. The first hour or so serves as a control tutorial, but it doesn't drag on like previous installments. The game also does formula, throwing in a lot of diverse objectives to complete prior to ever stepping foot in a dungeon. As for the dungeons themselves, there aren't that many in the traditional. They're plenty challenging, with clever puzzles and rewarding boss battles. Furthermore, the central dungeon, which you visit several times during the course of the adventure, just keeps on giving. Though its floors are initially short and simple, they eventually come to rival the length and complexity of the classic Zelda dungeons. Those worried it'll play out much like the Temple of the Ocean King can rest easy, as there's no time limit, and you're never forced to retread old ground. Zelda will also occasionally accompany you on a dungeon run donning a heavy suit of armor. While co-op dungeons aren't a new concept to the series, Spirit Tracks definitely makes the best use of them yet. Link also trades in his boat for a new train, which he'll use to get around the vast world. There are tons of enemies and hidden collectibles to look out for while chugging around, and you'll need to switch tracks and change course frequently, so there's rarely a dull moment. Though it is more restrictive, since you can't deviate from the track's courses, it does cut down on the time you'll spend aimlessly wandering around. That's not to say there's not a strong emphasis on exploration, though. There are a ton of side quests packed into the adventure, as well as the ability to unlock new paths and war points. Spirit Tracks also includes a competitive multiplayer component that requires only a single cartridge, but it's restricted to local Wi-Fi. It's odd that there's no online component to the multiplayer mode, given that Phantom Hourglass had that functionality. Still, it's mindless fun if you can find a few friends to join up. In addition to the local multiplayer, players can also trade treasures found in-game with each other via the tag mode, which can be used to create new custom parts for your train. Restoring the power of the Spirit Tracks will take around 20 hours, though the side quests can easily tack on several more. Just like Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks primarily relies on stylus input. You tap on a spot and Link moves. There have been some minor tweaks to refine the system, but nothing huge. Despite a few miscues, the controls work well, and there's even an option for lefties or righties. As for the lack of an option to use the D-pad for movement, we're still scratching our heads on that one, especially since it's only utilized as a redundant option to bring up the inventory or map screens. Many of the items you collect in each dungeon are also repeat offenders, handling identically to their counterparts in Phantom Hourglass. As for the new stuff in Link's toolbox, they're welcome additions that avoid the common trap of being utilized once and becoming useless shortly thereafter. The big new item is the Spirit Flute, which makes use of the microphone and touchscreen. You simply drag the flute around while blowing into the mic to play various melodies. It's an engrossing method, which not only progresses the story at several junctions of the quest, but is also quite the handy utility in other situations. Controlling Link's new train is similar to the boat in Phantom Hourglass, though there are a few key differences. There's no longer an option to jump over obstacles. Rather, you can blow the train's horn by tugging on a rope, which will clear out any animals impeding your progress. Drawing paths out with the stylus is also much easier due to the fixed nature of the tracks. You can manually change course at any switch with the touch of the stylus, but when a course is plotted, it will automatically do this for you. You also have to manually stop at each destination, but it's very simple, and it can be a guilty pleasure to slam on the brakes. In general, everything handles much better than before, and there are more clever uses of the stylus and microphone. Spirit Tracks retains the same visuals and style of Phantom Hourglass, so don't be surprised if you feel a bit of deja vu. The look is still every bit as good as it was 2 years ago, but it's not pushing any limits on the hardware. While the soundtrack is also guilty of borrowing a few tunes, a good portion of the score is original. Many of the new tracks are standouts, which is a big deal for a series renowned for its music. Spirit Tracks addresses all of the shortcomings of Phantom Hourglass and delivers a brilliant experience. It hasn't done much to change up the established formula, but it's still a solid adventure that ranks as one of the better outings in the series.